emergency.
It was February 1st. It seemed like a normal day. I got up early, got ready. I'm a school administrator, so I had a lot of meetings scheduled. Drove about 40 minutes to our regional office of education. Walked in, went to the conference room where our meeting was going to be held. A couple other people were already there, getting ready, getting set up. And I took a breath and I felt super dizzy. And then I collapsed.
I get a phone call from a number I didn't recognize, and it's a colleague of Heather's. She says she collapsed, she wasn't responsive, we had to give her CPR and actually shock her with the AED. After what felt like forever, a doctor came in and they said, well, because they had to use the AED, they're fairly certain it was cardiac arrest. You know, right there when you see her intubated with the tube down her throat, it was definitely something that you don't ever want to see.
When I got to the hospital, they placed me in a medically induced coma, and I was on a ventilator. I had all the tubes in all of the places. By the end of the day, I wasn't waking up. So they told my family that because I had lost so much oxygen to the brain over the 10 to 12 minutes of the incident, I might not walk or talk again on my own. You know, you live every day to the fullest because in the blink of an eye, your life could be over. And to me, that is what happened.
Got a phone call from the hospital and they say, hey, we got Heather up, she's responding. It was one of the best feelings that, I could ask for at that point.
Their guess is that my potassium levels in my body had gotten really, really low. So there's a condition called long QT syndrome in which your long beats are too long and my short beat hit at the same time, which put my heart into an electrical frenzy. It just basically shorted a fuse. But because they were able to keep blood and oxygen circulating through my body and up to my brain, I was able to regain my life. After experiencing cardiac arrest, I feel like I was truly reborn and given a second chance at life. One of my last days in the hospital, one of my cardiologists looked at me and said, Heather, most people do not survive this. And most people are not this young. Most people don't like to talk as much as you. And he said, please, please, please share your story. And I started looking for organizations that I could reach out to. And the first one that came to my mind, of course, was the American Heart Association. Seven years ago, on February 1st, 2018, my life changed forever. One moment, I was laughing with my colleagues at the school where I worked. The next, I was on the floor dead in sudden cardiac arrest. I was 28 years old. I didn't have warning signs. I didn't have time to prepare. But because of CPR and an AED, I got a second chance. That moment didn't just save my life. It gave my life a new purpose. Since then, I've trained more than 5,000 people in CPR. I've helped pass laws to ensure schools have cardiac emergency response plans. I've completed and published research about cardiac emergency preparedness in schools that's now shaping national policies. Because I know firsthand that when someone collapses, every second counts. And I know that not everyone has gotten the second chance that I did. Without the American Heart Association, I wouldn't have been able to accomplish all of these amazing things. In 2022, my heart journey took another turn, this time as a mom. When I was pregnant, I was told that Easton might not be born alive because of a congenital heart defect. We were terrified, not only for my health during the pregnancy, but now my son. We bought an AED for our home, which is something most people don't have to think about. And when it was time to send him to daycare, it was so scary to worry about whether or not the person taking care of my son would know how to save his life. That's when my mission became even more personal. I didn't just want to teach CPR. I needed to. Because one day it might be my son who needs a lifesaver. And I want to know that the world around him is ready. Every person I train, every school I help prepare, every law I work to pass, It's all for Easton. It's for every child, every family, every person who deserves a fighting chance. Imagine this. Your child collapses, their tiny heart stops beating. You're surrounded by people, but no one knows what to do. The truth is, CPR is simple. But too many parents have lost their children while bystanders stood frozen, unsure how to help. I refuse to be one of those parents who loses their child when somebody could have done something. Just 2 hands, just a few steps. It's the difference between life and loss. Learn CPR. Be the reason a life is saved. I can't do this alone. I need your help. Advocate for more CPR AED training in your schools, youth sports, and communities. Take action and commit to being a lifesaver, because one moment, one person, one decision to step in, to be prepared, can mean the difference between life and death. I am Dr. Heather Baker, and I am here today because someone saved my life. Now, I train lifesavers because one day my son or your child, your sibling, your friend, your partner might need one too.
Where is he? Where's Easton? Peekaboo! Oh. Yeah.
Can I get a kiss?
Oh, you got red lipstick. Oh.